The good thing for me, so my music career started early. So I started music with a group called The Band.
Yes.
And that helped me with making money here and there. Because we used to do shows, but hata niwaambie pesa ilikuwa ujinga.
How much were they paying you for the shows?
Let me tell you, first of all, when they paid us, it was like, wow, we're being paid for our talents. Because us guys, so we started doing music in 2014. Interestingly, so I always tell guys the best bit about my career is I did them at the same time. So even when I was choosing what I wanted to do, I was very sure I'm gonna go with music. So I went into law school September of 2013, started doing music. The first song I actually released was 2014, July. So us guys are doing our thing. Most of the time we're doing free gigs. Because nobody knows us. You know, this thing, and I always tell guys it's a business. Most musicians don't understand that it's business. Oh, why aren't you paying us, Nini? You know, you can't be paid if you're not bringing value. You know, there has to be some value you're bringing to the table. So we were doing a bunch of free gigs, and the reason was we were trying to get our names out there. So by this time in 2014, I'm still in my folks' place. So I'm a bit cushioned. So yes, I'm doing free gigs, but I don't have issues like at the rent. I don't have to take care of Stima or whatever.
Right.
But now, us guys started getting paid here and there. And when I say paid, remember this is 2015, guys.
Yes.
Us guys are 8 in the group.
8.
Yeah. We had those dreams of Kina Linkin Park. You know the bands that normally have a bunch of people, our drama, you know. We're being paid 5Gs. This 5Gs, first of all, you're fighting these people to give you your 5Gs. Hey, Mnaenda, you sit down, you do 5 divided by 8. It's like, wow. Okay. Great. So we even divide by 9. Tunasema hii moja itakuwa ya drink. So, there's one member of the band called Shere.
Yes.
You know, so 5 divided by 9, and we do the 9 is now we buy. And you can imagine, if we're doing 5 by 9, you can imagine the botis we're drinking. Changa tupu. And we're not buying one, so we're buying like 3 of them. So you can imagine that budget is for 3 botis. Because how are 8 guys going to do? You get the math. So tunichanga, yani vitu tunatumia ni mbaya. And then you go home with your like 6 sock or whatever, and that feels like a lot of money because you're taking a jar from Tao, 20 bob, nini. Now all of a sudden you're telling your girl, hey, let's go for Wacky Wednesday. Then the steers, kulabaga ama mawimpi. Yani, yeah, life was simple, but yeah, those 2 money started helping, and then I started doing 2 internships. So especially during holidays, I'd do internships and go to law firms and I know nothing, but my work is to carry files. So Uhuru Park to, you know, Tao through Uhuru Park to Milimani Locals and just carrying files there. Yeah, I'm holding brief for the Nini. I go there, I tell them, my counsel is not here. Can you hold brief for us? I give them the file, they do it for us. Like, and then it was just small chums, but it was, you know, at that point I was like, yeah, at least I'm doing something. Yeah. So that's how I started making money initially.
When do you turn your back on law?
When I finished.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nilimaliza nikasema nope.
But it's a decision you had made beforehand.
Yeah. So I knew I was gonna, like, I even talked to my folks. My mom went through all the stages of grief. Yani, she couldn't believe someone can choose to be a musician in this country. Like all the musicians I know die poor.
Yes.
You know,
you
know how you see creatives, actors, musicians, all of them are just suffering or that they have pay bills.
Yeah.
So that was it for my mom.
Yeah.
But I told them and I finished and I was like, yeah, so I've decided I want to do this thing. So I finished my law school and I decided, and I'm telling you, my career was so wild. So I finished my law school in 2016. 2016, so the next year, 2017, we released a song with Le Band, number 1. Mind you, my folks and I have been fighting about this decision because, first of all, the music we're putting out, I'm getting like 400 views. And that's because my dad and my mom and my bros are watching. Like, and now Luya, us guys are many. So it's just the clan. The clan is watching my music. No one else. The comments are all names we know. Luya names there, you know.
Right.
So my folks are like, this, it doesn't make sense. But then we put out number 1, I think January 31st of 2017. That's like 1 month after I finished law school, and that song blows up. And it's almost validation. You know, it's like my folks are like, okay, maybe this thing is
Yeah.
making sense.
What do you think? What do you think made that song
I
blow
don't
up
know,
and
bro.
the others?
We've thought about it. Like me, I don't. Sometimes I even say God, because with this song, yeah. So when we recorded this song 9 months before it came out, and it had so much drama. Like the producer chased us, the videographer was slow. Like just those projects that just have so much crap going about them. And I remember when in December, so the boys were like, this song is dope. I feel like we should shoot a video for it. And I played the song for a boy of mine, and he's like, my guy, this is the song that's gonna take you to the next level. And he was serious, but that's what he had said with every other song I played for him. So I'm like, bro, I don't even know.
Yeah.
you know how your boys just tell you, hey,
Just gas you up, yeah.
So I couldn't believe anyone. So my boys come, my fellow bandmates, they're like, we should shoot a video. And I've written this song, but I've lost all hope. Like I don't believe in anything. We've done this thing so many times, nothing has worked. What makes you think this one will work?
Yeah.
And for me, it was just making. When you make a business decision, sometimes you can't just be emotional. You have to think like critically and be realistic with the situation. Okay, so we've done this, and this. Na imekata. Nini tafanya hii kwa different. So we went and they told me, okay, so this is what we wanna do. So we've been spending tunes on videos that have been bombing. Now you want to even spend even more money, like 5 times the amount we've ever spent on a video. So they said the budget was 120K. And I told these guys, wait, have you checked your YouTube views? You want to spend 120 Gs on a video, so each of us is chucking for 40K.
Yeah.
I said, no, it's not happening. What can it bembeleza? And I remember I told them, if this song doesn't work, this is the end for me. Like after this one, I'm going, shaving my dreads, law firm straight.
Yeah.
Let me just go labor. Because I was like, yeah, my life also, you see, when we were hustling when we were younger, it was easy because we were cushioned by our parents. But now we're getting to a point where I have to take responsibility. I have to do things on my own. So that was it. And we went, and I remember, bro, we went to church and prayed that Sunday before the release.
Before the song goes.
Tulikuwa tumeshikana mikono Nairobi Baptist Church after service tunaomba.
Yeah.
Telling God, we've spent 120K. This money I've asked my parents for a loan. It better come back, damn it. And that song just blew up. I think also the people around us really helped us amplify that song. Like people really shared the song. And it was also, I also believe it was a good time for us. Like it was just the right time for us. It was luck also. Hakuna mse alikuwa amerelease ngoma hiyo time. Our song just became the #1 trending song on YouTube with like, was it 40,000 views? These days, a song becomes #1 on YouTube
millions.
with millions of views. So like, you see, it just worked out.
Yeah.
And the song just blew and it changed everything for me since. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So financially, what was the return on that song? You saying you wanted the 40K
that song
back?
made us money.
Yeah.
I can't lie. #1 made us money. In 2017, I don't think there was an artist who was booked more than us. Because you see, there was 3 groups. There was Sauti Sol, there was Hat the Band, and there was La Band. Now, who was the cheapest option?
It's you guys.
If you can't afford Sauti Sol,
Yeah.
because no one was affording Sauti Sol, you can't afford Sauti Sol, can't afford Hat the Band. Who's the next best thing?
Yeah.
The band. We did shows. And I remember, so the difference was so massive. We're coming from a point where we were fighting with people to just give us transport. And all of a sudden, someone calls us and is like, so we want to pay you. We have a budget for 100K. We just want you to perform one song. Like, what? One song? And then you have to pretend like, it's below what we wanted, but okay, fine. Because you also want to be careful or say, okay, if it's not for you, then please. We're coming. Yeah, so it just started being crazy. And we started performing at crazy stages. I remember that year we performed with on the same stage, or just around that time, the same stage as Omarion, Diamond, Sauti Sol. Like we start calligraph.
And do you guys have a rate at this time, or you're taking whatever guys are
bro,
giving
let
you?
me tell you, we don't even know how. In fact, this guy is telling us they're paying us this money was surprising us because we weren't believing people are being paid that kind of money. Because even if us guys were to put our own rate card, ingekuwa card 20, 30K. Msee anakwambia, we'll pay you 100K. Like, Okay. Meaning I can get more.
Yeah.
So we start talking to other artists and they're like, no, you guys should be quoting like 150. We don't even have a rate card.
Yes.
So people just call us, flat rate 150. And they say yes. And then we realize, everyone is saying yes to this 150. Maybe
Tuongeze kidogo.
you know. So it was like we didn't know anything. We were so green, and that's the one thing. And that's why for me right now in the industry, I'm very big on speaking to guys coming up, because I think it's important for them to know what the rates are like and what the industry is like, because see tulishaftiwa. We were shafted badly because we knew nothing. Yeah, but that year we made good money, and the problem, and I always admit, we were young and we were making solid tunes. The other boys, Ken was still in mechatronics school, Joel was in med school still. So hype ya madem ilikuwa real. We have a massive song. We're making money. We're on TV. We wasted our money on women.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
As a fellow man.
Yes. Yes.
When you say wasted your money on women, what does that mean? What does wasting your money on women mean?
Girls, we don't even know.
Yes.
So like we go for an event, we've performed. And I used to say, I wish this guy's never paid us immediately after the shows. Kwanza club appearance. I used to tell these guys it's unfair because you're paying me and then I'm using all my money to buy booties in your club.
Yeah.
So we'd go, we've performed, random babes just come. We spend money on booties on them and then we pay for their cabs. Due to nawapeleka wapi the next day. These girls are girls we never see again in our lives. Sa hizo pesa yetu imeenda yote. So we're not saving anything.
Yeah.
You know, it gets to the time we want to shoot a music video, all of a sudden we need to do another gig in order to afford a music video. Because we're so financially illiterate, bro. Like we're making money, but we don't know how to save money.
Yeah.
We don't know how to plan for our tunes, you know, and also we're excited, you know, because it's a fast life. The music, the entertainment industry is so fast. Like it can sweep you, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was what was happening in our lives. And even girls call us, they're like, oh, send me this money. Because you're like, oh, jamani, mimi celeb, lazima ni. And saizo hata wewe hauna pesa, yani. You're even sending money you don't have.
When do you come to, or when do you begin to think about leaving the band?
Okay. So in 2018, in December, man, I've never even shared this story. I hope my boys, I think we're past it, so I don't think people will feel bad about it. It's just the truth. We're grown-ups. We've made mistakes, and yeah. So in 2018, we get this job from, I think, the South African embassy, and it's paying us a shit ton. I remember, so we were called to a meeting. These guys didn't ask us for our quote. They called us into a meeting. Boardroom, proper boardroom, was seated around the table. So the boys, we've pangad ourselves this side, those guys are on the other side. And then they don't ask us for a rate card. They tell us we have a budget of $1 million. Bro, my legs started shaking under the table. Like I could hear the table. I'm like, Paka, I wanted to ask, what are you paying us to do? It's just singing. You guys might want us for other things. You better tell me now. I'm not saying no, but prepare me.
Just tell me so I'm ready.
Ain't no way you guys want to pay me $1 million, Bob.
Yeah.
And you could see and our manager couldn't speak also. Like,
even the manager.
All of us were out of breath. You know, listen, that time our rate card is like 200 to 50K. These guys they've not even warned us. They sent an email. And it's just been angushwad. Pap. One mic. Like, and then they say, so I had a sound business. Yeah. They said, you have a sound business? We're willing to add 200K. You bring your own sound. I'm like, 1.2 mic and 200 is just mine. Saizo sound yenye wanataka is sound for like 30K. I remember, so our manager says, we can work with that. I'm just there like, work. Even my dad is not being paid like this, bro. What the hell do you mean?
Yeah.
So we get out of the office. So like we just walk out of the door and we're pretending. Me, my knees are weak. I want to tell you guys, like I was even struggling I feel like I was looking bow-legged. Yeah. I was struggling. Yeah. We got into the lift. I thought I was the only one the guys just started screaming. Like this is 12th floor. Yeah. We figured 8th. People just started screaming in the lift. Yeah. So now the excitement is over after a while. So we do the gig and it's a problem. And it's I understand, guys, the worst thing about corporate gigs, they have the least work, but they pay the most. Alafu hizi zingine no stress yote. Yeah. You know, these are the ones that don't pay well are the most stressful ones. Yeah. You know. So we do the gig, and I remember now the money discussions start to happen.
You're still 8 of you.
Yes.
Well, 9 now. Well,
No. So that time we had shared, we're 3 people. The 8th thing wasn't working. The math had refused.
the one that refused. Okay, so
Yeah,
you're
we
3
just
people.
realized you have to be a Sauti Sol and hire a band
Yeah.
every time. Yeah, so we're 3 people. So there's a mic on the table, and I'm like, I feel like we should put half of this money back into the music, because first of all, we never get paid any of this amount it's not something us guys have ever received. So for me, it made sense. Like even 500K divided by us guys was still a lot of money for me, And the boys are like, no, to gawane your dough equally. I'm like, what about the investing in the brand? This is the thing that's making us the money. So again, we'll divide the money amongst ourselves, Isha, and then we start crying again that we don't have money for our craft. And I felt like I was pushed to a wall to a point where I had to agree. And so and I hate saying this because it's not something that was in my mind before, but I started thinking like, I'm the lead vocalist of this group. I do most of the writing, the singing. But when it comes to decision making, I'm always I can be outvoted, and and I never had a problem with sharing equally, because for me, I never thought that I'm doing more than the other person. But for me, when it started to feel like people are not thinking about the brand, that became an issue for me, because my dream was always like a Grammy, like to take our music so far, and I felt we had so much potential, but I felt like the fame and the fast life, the women, the money was consuming people, and they were not thinking about the best interest of the business as much. And now at that time, one of my bandmates had gotten another job. And now it hit me at that point that this was a side job for him. It was a side gig. So I was putting 100 into this gig. He wasn't putting 100. So I remember there's a time we even went and did a show, and he didn't come because he was working at his other show. And I realized, listen, we're not, this thing is not, we're not in the same, on the same wavelength with this thing.
Yeah.
And that's when it hit me like, we have practice. There's a time I went for like 3 months. So us guys used to practice every week with our band, like twice a week, and be in studio at times. And I was in studio at practice for 3 months on my own. And I remember that our drummer, his name was Larry, I remember very well. He said to me, and some guy called, and our bassist, his name was Dan. His name is Dan. He said, should just become a solo artist, because what is this you're doing? You're literally the only one
who's here.
Always here. And my other bandmate is now making money, so he's comfortable. And even when we meet the convos, it feels like, I don't want to say he was doing it intentionally, but it felt like he was looking down on us. Like, you are saying, unajua mimi natengeneza do. Just like, okay. So I made a decision. I remember I just wrote to the group and I was like, I feel like it's my time to walk out. I can't be in the group anymore. I've done what I feel I could do with this group. This group was amazing for us as long as we've had it, but I think it's accomplished what it was meant to be. And I told them, I hope, please, no one should call me to try and get me back, because this is something I've thought about for a very long time. I talked to my dad, I talked to my mom. It's a conversation I had with people for like 2 months. My girlfriend then, at that time. And it was difficult because even for my folks, it was like, man, umetoka law school, umepata kitu ina work. So again, you want to leave? And my mom was just like, I can't believe you. Again, you want to start from zero. And truly, I was going to start from zero because I wasn't living Sauti Sol like the way Bian did. His name was massive. So I was living Leban. People know Leban. Nobody knows the individuals from the band. So I'm starting from zero. But so I decided to leave then because I felt like we had plateaued and we had reached a ceiling.
Okay.
Yeah.